Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am using my webcam on my laptop, so sorry for the bad quality, but today is exciting. I'm going to edit with you guys today. So you guys are gonna kind of see how I edited this recent photo shoot. Every time I edit something, it's something different, and I use different settings. So this is for this photo shoot specifically that I did recently. So I want to get into it. Okay, so in this photo shoot, I'm just gonna minimize this page as I'm using handy dandy photo booth, the MacBook Pro. So this is how you're seeing me right now. I really don't know how to do this, so don't judge me, but it works. So we're here. Okay. Oh look, there's two of us. L. I'm gonna exit out of this. Okay. Now here I am up in the corner. Hello, hi. Pretty much what I want to do is I want to open up Lightroom first. This is what I usually do so that I can take all of the images in a photo shoot and prepare them for the editing that I do in Photoshop. I do most of my work in Photoshop, but I do some little touch-ups in Lightroom. Okay, here it is. Now the image is pulled up in Photoshop. Okay, we're ready to get into editing, guys. Okay. Getting ready. And this is what I do while I edit, so if you don't mind me. Okay. Already I really love this image. So what I'm gonna do here is yeah, I like that. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna now go into kind of color toning, and tone this image to perfection. And I'm just gonna group these together so they don't get in the way. I don't know why, it's kind of an OCD type of thing. But, okay, we're gonna start with a curves layer. So again, down here or up here, and go to curves. And with that, you get like a nice brightened, contrasted picture. Now we're gonna do a brightness and contrast. I always click this one here that's a sun with like this half moon, or you can go down here and go to brightness contrast. I'm just gonna bump up the contrast a little bit to maybe 9. Yeah, I like that, but it definitely darkens her eyes. So I'm going to switch here from white to black and up the flow to, I'm just gonna go to 100 and then mask out her eyes. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is a hue saturation layer. I do it here, but most people do it here. So hue saturation layer. Let's see, what did I do first? I think we're gonna, yeah, so I wanted to change the color of the yellow. So we're gonna go to yellows. And what did I do here? I did the hue at -1, the saturation at 24, and then the lightness I did at -17. And already you can see what that did to the yellows. Okay, I like that. That looks good. So I don't like what it did to the face. So of course, all I'm gonna do is mask that out. And that's it. So you can see Alt and mask out the face. We're good to go. Okay, next, selective color. I always go to this one, but again, down here, you can go to selective color. So this, I just wanted to add a little bit of redness into the skin to kind of separate from the yellow and to also give complementary colors to the blue in her eyes and the yellow. And these are all 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, that we're gonna add to this image. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to reds, and I'm going to add more red. And I just wanna add about -7. And already you can see that red is more rich in the face and the hair. I want to add 3 of magenta. Maybe, yeah, -8 in yellows. I'm gonna add yellow, and then we're gonna just darken it up just a smidge, literally a smidge by 1. And then I want to affect the neutrals as well, so I'm going to click on neutrals, and we're going to do just slight changes, so -1, -1, and -2. So I added a little more red, a little more magenta, and a little more blue. Okay, so that's great for that layer. I'll show you before, after. You can see there's red in the face, a little more in the face here, and in the hair, and all of a sudden it starts corresponding to the blue in her eyes and the yellow in the image. So, looks good. Looks good. It's so slight, ever so slight, but it makes a huge difference. I'm gonna do another selective layer, selective color layer. And this time I'm going to add blues into the shadows. So I want to go to blacks because this will affect the shadows. And in cyan, I want to add 2 of the cyan color. cyan color. And already you can see that has done something to her, to the shadows of her hair. And then in yellow, I'm gonna do -5, and that added more of like a navy blue, opposite of yellow. And then we're going to go to reds because we can still see red in the shadows. I'm gonna do -16, which added a little more red, -5, which added more green, and then -4, and that added more blue. So we can see now the before and the after, and it's subtle again, before, after. You can see the blue in the shadows that richens up this image just a little bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I wanted to lighten up the image a little bit more, so I'm gonna go to curves, and here I'm just gonna lighten up this and lighten up the shadows. And I like that, but I only want it to affect the highlights. So there's a thing that I learned from Aaron Nace on Flern here on YouTube, that you can use blend if modes, and they're kind of complicated, so if you want to learn more about it, they're kind of complicated, kind of not, then you can go to his channel and search up blend ifs. So what you do is you see this layer here, you double click on the gray and it brings up this layer style thing, and right here you can see it's blend if mode. What I want to do is I'm gonna turn this to the side so you can see how it affects the image. I want to take it out of the shadows. So what I do here is this toggle takes it in and out of the shadows, but I don't want the entire thing. So what I do is you can hold Alt, click on this, and it separates the two like that. And this will allow it to blend a little bit easier. So then I just take this all the way down, and you guys can see what that did to the image before and after, and it literally just affects mostly the highlights and not the shadows. And yeah, that looks great. I like that. Looks good. So that's good. Next, I think I want a little more, just a little more contrast. I'm gonna do a brightness contrast layer. I'm just gonna bump up the contrast to 20. And that looks good on like the clothes and the background, but the hair and the face are a little too much for me. So I'm going to stay on black, flow 100, and I'm gonna mask out the face and hair. So now you see that we masked out the face and the hair, and now it looks much better. You can see the contrast when I do on and off. You can see the contrast changes in the field and on her clothes, and that's what we wanted. We didn't want it to affect her hair and her face. Okay, so I think I want a little more contrast in the dress, and so I'm gonna do another brightness and contrast, and this time I'm going to bring down the brightness to -4 and bring up the contrast to 21. And this is gonna be specifically for the dress. So I'm going to invert that layer. I'm going to flip these so that I'm only applying it to the dress and the sleeves. And you can see an ever so slight difference. It's ever so slight, but it does make a difference, I promise. Now what I'm gonna do at the request of the makeup artist is I'm going to just lighten up her eyebrows just a tiny bit. And the way that I like to do that is I'm just gonna take a curves layer and I'm just gonna brighten it up like this. invert the layer, zoom in, and lessen the flow a little bit, and just go in on the eyebrows pretty much. It's gonna look silly for a second. Don't judge just yet. If I zoom out, that's pretty light. So I'm going to lower the opacity to match almost the lightness of the hair. And then, because it's very cool tone, we want it to be warmer tone. This is just something that I do. It's just a quick thing. Do a new layer here, change the layer mode to color, and then again sit here and select this color from her hair and draw it in. Again, it's gonna look freaking ridiculous, but you'll see what I'm about to do. Okay. Oh, I don't know, that's a look. Guys, Carlos is home. Come here. Come say hi to everyone.
Where is this?
You're right there.
Hey, I'm home.
Carlos is home. And his hair is short.
Yeah. Cut.
You see that?
Done so.
It's gone. No more man bun.
Nope.
So Carlos, what do you think of her orange eyebrows?
I mean, they look amazing.
They look good, huh?
Yeah.
It's a look. I should keep it like that, huh?
You should call her and tell her she should have orange eyebrows.
Okay.
Yeah. She would get looks. I'm hoping it's the good looks.
Good looks. We like that. We like a nice orange brow. Okay, all jokes aside, we're gonna fix it. Pretty much what I did before was I just brought down the saturation. That's it, so that from a distance, it looks nice. And that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to do to this image. I'm gonna group these together and show you guys before and after. So here is the before. Kind of boring, no saturation, no contrast, eyes are dark. And then the after, where I really liven it up, pop the colors and the contrast, and it makes a pretty good looking image, if you do say so myself. That's pretty much it. That's how I edited pretty much every image. Anyway, so that was that. And yeah, that's how I edited this series. I'm gonna show you guys now some like a collage of pretty much all the images together, one after another, so you guys can kind of see how I did this to all the images and how they all look with the color toning and the smoothing of the face and contrast and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys like this. I hope you learned something valuable that you guys can take into your editing. Again, I'm not a professional, and there are a lot of things that I do that are preference to me. You don't have to do it the way that I do it. And I really suggest that you kind of find your own style and your own editing methods and your own preferences to be original and to be yourself. It's not encouraged to copy work. You can always take inspiration from it and apply it to your own images and to your own workflow. Find your own voice, you know? That's my advice, okay? Okay, well, anyway, if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more editing videos, please sound off below. You can go to my Instagram and tell me which images that you want to see edited, see how I did it. Yeah, please just give support. This was actually kind of nerve-wracking for me, to be honest. So anyway, enjoy the little collage of images. And yeah, love you guys. It was good to spend time with you today. So thanks for watching. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you lots. Okay? Okay.